growing orchids without soil, without worrying about root rot, and still having vibrant blooms. Today I'll reveal to you an incredibly simple yet surprisingly effective method of growing orchids hydroponically. Anyone can do it right at home. With this method, the roots always have just the right amount of moisture, the leaves are healthy and glossy green, and the flowers bloom at the right time, with longer lasting, more vibrant colors. Let's get started. With hydroponic orchid replanting, a highly effective solution, orchids recover, grow healthily, and bloom again after flowering. After buying orchids and enjoying their blooms, instead of discarding the plant, we move on to the stage of nurturing the roots and restoring its strength, so that the plant adapts well to the new environment and continues to bloom in subsequent cycles. This method is especially suitable for busy people who frequently travel or don't have much time to care for orchids daily. The first and extremely important step is to completely remove the old growing medium. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like and subscribe buttons to support me and so you don't miss any orchid care tips. It's great to have you as a companion on this journey. After a period of use, this medium often retains moisture for too long, creating an ideal environment for mold and bacteria to grow. As you can see here, some roots have started to be attacked by fungus, with damaged and darkened root tips. If we don't intervene in time, this situation will spread quickly, leading to root rot and severely weakening the plant. Therefore, at this step, we remove all the old growing medium, eliminating the damp and dirty environment around the roots, creating conditions for cleaning, restoring, and regenerating new roots, preparing the plant to move to a more aerated, clean, and stable hydroponic growing model. Besides English, we now have voiceovers in French, German, Italian, Spanish, Portuguese, Japanese, Hindi, and Indonesian, to help you understand the content more easily. Listen in your preferred language by opening the video and clicking on the settings gear icon to select the appropriate audio language. After removing the old growing medium to improve aeration and promote faster plant growth, we will then treat any damaged roots caused by fungal infections. Next, I will use scissors to trim and clean the entire root system of the orchid. Damaged, rotten, dry, hollow roots, or those showing signs of fungal disease, must be completely removed to prevent the spread of disease to the remaining healthy roots. Which country are you watching this video from? Let me know in the comments. It's wonderful that we can connect and chat with each other from all over the world. For faded flower stalks, we will also treat them using the correct technique. I will cut from the top down, leaving only about 2 nodes from the base. This removal will help the plant to concentrate its energy on nourishing the roots and leaves, allowing for faster recovery. After completing the trimming of damaged roots and treating the flower stalks, the orchid will be neat and clean, minimizing the risk of fungal disease. Next, I will thoroughly clean the entire orchid plant with clean water. Using just the right amount of water pressure, I spray directly and evenly over the stem base, leaf crevasses, and roots to completely wash away any remaining dirt, moss, and mold spores on the surface. This vigorous rinsing with clean water is mandatory and extremely important, helping the orchid return to a clean, airy, and safe state, minimizing the risk of fungal disease development after pruning. What kind of orchids are you growing? Please leave a comment below so I can create a detailed, personalized orchid care guide tailored to the specific characteristics and needs of that orchid variety. After rinsing, the stem will be completely clean, the roots clearly visible and healthy, ready for the next steps in the care process. At this point, I set the plant aside and move on to the next step in the orchid care and restoration process. Next, I use garlic to prepare a nutrient solution for my orchid. Garlic is a very powerful natural ingredient with high antibacterial and antifungal properties, as well as repelling harmful insects and stimulating healthy orchid growth. I use 3 cloves of garlic, completely peeling off the outer skin, keeping only the inner core. This pod is rich in bioactive compounds, containing many antibacterial compounds and nutrients beneficial to orchids. On the Blissful Garden channel, you can also find many ways to make homemade organic fertilizers from familiar kitchen ingredients. These are not only cost-effective but also help plants grow sustainably. Then, I chop the garlic core into small pieces. The smaller the pieces, the easier the nutrients are released and extracted, resulting in a more effective solution for caring for, preventing fungal diseases, and increasing the orchid's resistance. Using a clean jar, place all the chopped garlic inside to allow it to ferment and extract nutrients for use in caring for orchids. Next, pour about 500 milliliters of hot water into the jar to help release the nutrients in the garlic. Next, I will use oatmeal. Oatmeal contains many B vitamins and important minerals such as potassium, phosphorus, and nitrogen, which are very good for the recovery and growth of orchids. I'll take about 3 tablespoons of oatmeal and add it to the prepared garlic water. After preparation, stir the solution thoroughly to ensure the active ingredients are evenly dissolved before the incubation phase. Then, cover the container and let it sit for about a day, allowing the vitamins and minerals from the garlic and oats to be fully extracted, creating a natural nutrient solution suitable for orchid care. After a day of incubation, our nutrient solution has undergone mild fermentation, and the active ingredients from garlic and oats have been released and fully absorbed into the water. At this point, the solution is stable, rich in nutrients, and possesses high antifungal and antibacterial properties, ready for use in caring for orchids safely and effectively. I prepare a clean container or a vessel, then carefully filter the solution to remove the garlic residue and any remaining impurities. This step ensures that the nutrient solution is clear and clean, guaranteeing that it will not clog roots, prevent mold growth, and is absolutely safe for orchids during cultivation. Next, I added 500 milliliters of clean filtered water to the filtered solution, then stirred well to ensure the nutrients were completely dissolved. Once the solution became homogeneous and clear, we obtained a jar of nutrient solution, ready to use for safe and effective orchid care and recovery. Next, I take the orchid outside and begin the next step of its care. At this point, we prepare the necessary tools to continue treating and nurturing the orchid, helping it stabilize, recover quickly, and grow healthily in the next stage. Next, I took a soft cotton pad, soaked it evenly in the prepared nutrient solution, and carefully and meticulously wiped all the orchid leaves. The upper surface of the leaves was cleaned of accumulated dust and dirt, allowing for better aeration and improved photosynthesis and metabolism. Meanwhile, the underside of the leaves was thoroughly cleaned to completely remove mold, fungal growth, and small insects that often reside there. I also didn't miss the flower stalks and leaf petioles, as these areas only accumulate dust and pathogens. After wiping, all the dust and mold were removed, leaving the orchid clean, healthy, able to absorb nutrients better, and facilitating faster recovery. Next, I prepared a clean container, set it aside, and placed the entire orchid root system into it. Once the plant was stable, I poured in the nutrient solution made from garlic and oats, ensuring the roots and base of the orchid were completely submerged. This soaking process allows the orchid roots to directly absorb the antifungal, antibacterial, and growth-stimulating nutrients. I then soaked the plant for about 25 minutes. This is sufficient time for the roots to absorb the nutrients, promoting recovery and preparing for the next growth phase. After soaking the orchid in nutrient solution for 25 minutes, I removed it from the container. At this point, it was clear that the plant had absorbed the nutrients very well through its root system. Many root tips had begun to open, transforming into healthy young roots and tending to reach out for new nutrients. This indicates that the roots have been activated and are ready to enter the next stage of recovery and growth. Then, I set the plant aside and proceeded to replant it. Next, I used a clean plastic water bottle, cutting it to create a suitable orchid pot. After preparing the pot, I gently placed the orchid inside and arranged the entire root system so that the roots were neatly positioned within the pot. Once this step was complete, the root system was stable in the pot, creating an important foundation for the plant to continue developing new roots, grow healthily, and adapt well to its new growing environment. So, we've finished planting the orchid in the pot repurposed from a plastic bottle. This method is both economical and environmentally friendly. After planting, I poured clean filtered water into the pot, ensuring the water level was just above the roots. The purpose is to maintain moisture, not to flood the roots. The water level should be kept just touching the tips of the young roots, allowing them to absorb moisture and nutrients gradually, helping the plant stabilize and recover better. During daily care, approximately every 3 days, I mist the entire orchid plant with clean filtered water to maintain stable humidity, prevent dehydration, and support better plant growth. Fertilizing twice a month is sufficient for balanced and healthy orchid development. After about a week, if the water level in the pot is low, add more clean water. If the water becomes cloudy or dirty, replace it with fresh water to ensure a clean and stable environment for the roots. With this planting and care method, even when busy or away on business, the orchid thrives without needing to water excessively. Finally, I place the orchid pot in the garden, in a shady, well-ventilated location with soft, diffuse light, avoiding direct sunlight. Therefore, instead of discarding the leftover nutrient solution, I continued to use it to care for other orchid plants in the garden. I prepared a clean spray bottle and poured all the nutrient solution into it. Then, I took each orchid plant in the garden out to care for them. These are plants I had previously grown using the hydroponic method, and they are currently thriving. I've sprayed the solution directly onto all the orchid leaves. Spraying the leaves helps clean the surface of the leaves of dust and dirt, and also removes any mold clinging to the surface. The nutrients will quickly penetrate the leaf epidermis. This is a very effective form of foliar fertilization, helping the orchids grow vigorously, with glossy green leaves, clearly developed new shoots, and healthy flower stalks. For the orchids in the garden, I maintain this fertilization routine regularly, twice a month, or about every 14 days. When the process is done correctly, the plants will photosynthesize better, have beautiful and healthy leaves, strong new shoots, and especially stable flower development, producing consistent and long-lasting blooms. Next, I proceeded with the care in the correct order. First, I applied foliar fertilizer, then moved on to fertilizing the roots. At this point, you can see that our orchids have produced many new roots. The young root tips are developing strongly, even extending above the rim of the pot, indicating that the plant is growing steadily and absorbing nutrients very well. Simultaneously, flower buds are beginning to form, showing that the plant has sufficient strength. After completing the foliar fertilization, I prepared a clean container or jar to water and soak the roots. I poured the nutrient solution directly onto the roots, helping the plant absorb nutrients from the base deeply and effectively. When applied to the roots, it helps the root system absorb sufficient nutrients, stimulates stronger root growth, and supports the plant in preparing for the next flowering stage. So, I poured the solution into another container and soaked the entire orchid root system. After about 20 minutes, I removed the plant and placed it back in its original position. With this care process, the root system developed very strongly. The roots were numerous and beautiful, the plant was healthy, the shoots grew well, and notably 2 flower stalks appeared simultaneously, showing that the plant absorbed nutrients through its roots very effectively. Afterward, I returned the plant to its original container and maintained the same water level. I changed the water once a week if it became dirty, and added more water if needed. I fertilized twice a month, and on other days I only misted the leaves to keep them moist. Finally, I placed the plant outdoors in the garden, in a shady, well-ventilated location with gentle sunlight, so that it could photosynthesize well and continue to grow steadily. After 3 weeks of care, it's clear that the orchid's grown using the hydroponic method of thriving. Their root systems are strong, numerous, uniform, and firmly anchored. Once healthy, their flowering ability is exceptional, resulting in a vibrant bloom as expected. Each orchid plant develops 2 distinct flower stalks, with beautiful, healthy, and stable flower shapes. The well-developed root system requires less maintenance for subsequent seasons. The entire orchid garden shows uniform growth. Every plant produces 2 flower stalks, and some even branch out, creating more flower branches. With proper and consistent care like this, the orchid will develop many roots, produce many flowers, and yield vibrant, long-lasting blooms. The flowers that bloom have rich colors, thick and durable petals, clearly demonstrating the effectiveness of hydroponic cultivation when applied correctly and with consistent care. After this stage, we only need to continue maintaining the plant to fully adapt to its natural environment, without having to worry too much about sun and rain or requiring extensive care. What do you think of my method of caring for this orchid? Don't hesitate to leave a comment and share your thoughts. I really want to hear your feedback and experiences. Every share from you is a valuable source of motivation that helps us learn and love plants more every day.